So now I've just checked out episode 85 of AOT, the final season part 2, and this episode is extremely...
Shut up and sit down.
Yo, what's good? It's a boy with reviews and heavy spoilers for AOT episode 85, You Have Been Warned. Possibly one of my favorite AOT chapters in the manga so far. I was super hyped for this episode to come out as it just delivered a lot of great dialogue. And let's just talk about the good for this episode. And I just love the characters bickering back and forth and telling who is in the wrong and who is in the right. Magif and Jean's sort of argument, how Magif just sees everyone as island devils who were threats to the world, and basically everything that the world thought about the Island Devils just literally came true because of Eren, and how he just does not understand why these guys who are supposedly friends with Eren would want to stop him. I love in the beginning of the episode where Hanji is talking to Mikasa and Jean, telling them how bad genocide is and how this is not what the scouts are meant to do, but then Jean is just thinking back and forth that if we stop Eren and the rumbling is over, the rest of the world still lives and Paradise Island is still at a pretty bad situation nevertheless. I'm not gonna lie, but Jean does have a very good point there. I do see Hanji's point on like how bad genocide is and this is not what the scouts are meant to do. They're meant to fight their enemies to save humanity, and that means all of humanity, including those outside of the walls. I also love how we finally get Mikasa's take on what Eren's doing and how she feels about Eren's plan to destroy the world. Her moment with Annie was also pretty intense, with Annie saying that if we and the Malians take down Eren and try and kill him, then Mikasa and her friends might try to stop them and they're going to have to fight one another to protect Eren. And Annie saying to Mikasa that she can't think of anything more important than her friend Eren, and that just triggered her so much. But I feel like the reason why she was triggered by that is because she is starting to realize how obsessed and how much of a slave she is to Eren in a way. How whenever she looks at Louise in like the previous episode and how devoted and dedicated and just obsessed she is with Mikasa, it's like Mikasa is looking into a mirror. Yelena throwing shade at everyone, calling out everyone's bad deeds and bad acts they did in the past and how no one is actually truly innocent. You just start to see how truly morally grey these people are and how no one's truly good or truly bad at the end of the day. They're just people trying to do the right thing. I just love the scene of Reiner confessing what he did to Marco and Jean just sort of bottling it all up, him just trying to pretend that it doesn't really matter, but then he just can't hold it back. He just lashes out at Reiner, and damn, that scene was absolutely brutal. You're just seeing Jean's fist go straight into Reiner's face like he's smashing a pumpkin or something. It just looked gory and brutal and just nasty looking. Gabby trying to protect Reiner and getting kicked by Jean, and her just begging to Jean and the rest to lend them their strength to help save the world. Gabby has just gone through a huge 180, probably not a 180, like a 360 more like. I mean, good lord, like her character is night and day compared to episode 1 of the final season. As well as good dialogue, this episode also had beautiful backgrounds. I mean, my gosh, at times in this episode, it felt like Studio Ghibli took over production in the background department because man, those backgrounds were looking lush and gorgeous and vibrant. Some beautiful high quality train detail of the Jaegerists in front of the train, and just the background where they were just sitting and talking with one another. The colors just popped and it was just a visual treat looking at some of these backgrounds, my dude. I also liked the one scene of Yelena just sort of stroking Peak's cart titan and her just sort of closing her eyes like she's some puppy dog. I don't know why, but it just felt kind of wholesome, that little moment. Also, some of the OST choices they used, particularly in the beginning scene with Jean, Mikasa and Hanji, did look really nice. And I also have to give props to the whole Jean sort of alternative dream world sequence that he had of him and his wife and his baby. Just the colors and the detail. I feel like Marpa put their entire budget or most of their budget into that one sequence. It just looked so damn beautiful, mate. And it just shows you how much Jean just wants to just have a peaceful life in the interior, and it's just showing you an alternative vision of like what would happen if he did join the Jaegerist and he did get his cushy life in the interior. but then also having guilt over Eren's rumbling plan. But with that out of the way, let's talk about the mixed aspect of this episode. I will admit some of the designs were looking a little bit off model, just here and there. It's nothing big or major, it's just something I did notice. Also, for some odd reason, the characters seem to have this yellow sort of tint over their faces when they're standing in front of the campfire. You would sort of imagine it to be more of an orange hue or red hue. That hue did throw me off at times, but again, that's just a small little nitpick, it's no biggie. But let's talk about the bad. And I will admit that the pacing could have been a little bit snappier. I mean, I do like how they really just wanted this whole episode to be super dialogue centered, super character driven, and just really wanted the audience to just absorb these characters' thoughts and feelings. But I would admit that there were some parts that they could have cut here and there, maybe. The excessive use of cutting to the background and just sort of cut into branches of the trees. The trees look nice, I mean, mate, you can't go wrong with marble background details. But it did become a little bit tiresome whenever they just kept cutting back to different shots of trees and grass and the sky. I was like, can we get some more faces at least? Well, it's no biggie. Overall, this episode was pretty good. I mean, it's not amazing, it's not life-changing, it's not brilliant, it's just, I do love the writing, I do love the dialogue, but I guess to some people that might be a little bit of a bore. They would probably want some more action and less talking, but that's the best part of AOT, just the dialogue and just the beautiful character interactions back and forth. I will give this episode an 8 out of 10 and an A-. Go check it out right now if you haven't seen it. But tell me in the comments down below what you guys thought of this episode. Did you like it or did you hate it? Like this video, subscribe for more Attack on Titan reactions, reviews, comparisons, breakdowns, rankings, and more. Stay tuned for my manga versus anime comparison that I'm going to do in a few days' time. And thank you for watching. Boarded Review signing out.